Have you noticed how some mornings feel like you are walking through wet cement? Your mind is heavy, your body is slower, and even the smallest tasks feel overwhelming. Now imagine if I told you that a simple handful of foods has the power to lift that gray fog, spark brighter moods, and even restore your brain chemistry to a more balanced state. Stay with me until the end, because I am going to count down 7 of the most powerful mood-lifting foods. And the number 1 food on this list is so overlooked that most people walk past it every week without realizing it is a natural antidepressant. If you want a calmer mind, more steady energy, and fewer heavy days, hit the subscribe button right now. Everything here is designed to help you live stronger, longer, and happier. Let me start with a real story. Janet, who is 63, was a retired school teacher. After her husband passed, she fell into a deep slump, and her doctor suggested medication, but she wanted to try a different path first. With guidance, she shifted her diet by adding just a few key foods we are going to cover today. Within 6 weeks, she was walking daily, laughing again with her grandchildren, and described it as getting color back in her world. That is the power of food when it is matched to the chemistry of your brain. Food does not fix grief, but it rebuilds the systems your brain uses to process life with steadier strength and more light. Before we count down the 7 foods, let us step inside the science. Because when you understand what is happening under the hood, the choices become easy. Your brain is not a loose collection of thoughts. It is a living electrical city with neighborhoods, power lines, and a maintenance crew. Your nerve cells communicate with tiny chemical messengers called neurotransmitters. Serotonin is your mood stabilizer, which is like the steady hand on the shoulder. Dopamine is your motivation spark, which is just like letting us get a moving voice. Gamma-aminobutyric acid is your calming break, which is like the gentle hush that quiets racing thoughts. Norepinephrine is your focus lens for keeping the picture sharp when life gets busy. To build those messengers, the brain needs raw materials and helpers. Think of vitamins and minerals as skilled workers on the assembly line. Folate, vitamin B6, and vitamin B12 help craft serotonin and dopamine from amino acid building blocks. Magnesium helps your calming system make gamma-aminobutyric acid, so your mind can shift from alert to settled. Omega-3 fatty acids form the insulation around your nerve fibers, so electrical signals travel cleanly instead of sputtering. Without these pieces, the city goes dim, and with them, the city hums. Also, your brain has an immune system. When inflammation rises, tiny signals called cytokines interrupt serotonin pathways and slow dopamine release. It is like a city squinting through smoke, where you feel flat, tired, and unmotivated. Foods rich in omega-3s, polyphenols, and antioxidants help clear that smoke. They do not force happiness, they remove the noise so your natural mood can rise. Now let us put it to work with 7 foods that target those exact systems, each with a clear mechanism, an easy dose, and the best time of day to use it. Number 7 is dark leafy greens. You can think of folate as a spark plug of your brain, and without it, your mood stabilizer chemical called serotonin cannot be made efficiently. Low folate is strongly linked to higher rates of depression. Spinach, kale, Swiss chard, and collards are your richest natural sources. 1 cup of cooked spinach provides almost 200 micrograms of folate, which is nearly half the daily recommended amount. For older adults, the aim should be for 2 servings a day, like a spinach omelet at breakfast and a side of sautéed greens at dinner, which can keep your brain chemistry steady. You can visualize them as the green wiring inside the control panel of your brain to keep the current flowing smoothly. Number 6 is fatty fish. Your brain is nearly 60% fat, and omega-3 fatty acids act like insulation on the electrical wires of your neurons, and without them, signals sputter and moods wobble. Clinical nutrition texts confirm that diets rich in EPA and DHA, which are found in salmon, sardines, and mackerel, can help reduce symptoms of depression. You just need 2 to 3 servings of fatty fish each week, and if fish is not your thing, you can consider algae-based omega-3 supplements. Studies show improvement in mood often appears after 8 weeks of consistent intake. Number 5 is fermented foods. Scientists now call the gut the second brain because 90% of your serotonin is made in your digestive tract. Fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, kimchi, and sauerkraut deliver beneficial bacteria that help produce those mood-lifting neurotransmitters. A study in older adults showed that adding just 1 serving of probiotic-rich yogurt daily improved reported anxiety and depressive symptoms after 4 weeks. You can take these foods earlier in the day to regulate cortisol, which is the stress hormone, to give you calmer evenings. Number 4 is nuts and seeds. Magnesium is often called a chill pill of nature that helps regulate the HPA axis, which is the stress response system of the brain, and is critical for producing gamma-aminobutyric acid to calm racing thoughts. Almonds, pumpkin seeds, and sunflower seeds are rich in magnesium. A small handful provides about 20% of daily needs. In research, adults with higher magnesium intake report significantly lower rates of depression. You can picture magnesium as a hand gently pressing a dimmer switch, which can lower the intensity of stress signals in your nervous system. Number 3 is berries. Oxidative stress is like rust forming inside your brain, and with the passage of time, it damages cells and lowers resilience. Blueberries, strawberries, and blackberries are packed with anthocyanins, which are pigments that protect brain cells and boost dopamine signaling. 1 cup of mixed berries daily has been linked to improved memory, reduced brain fog, and better mood regulation in clinical studies. You can think of berries as tiny umbrellas shielding your neurons from the acid rain of oxidative stress. Number 2 is turmeric. Turmeric has been used for centuries to help calm inflammation. Modern science reveals that its active compound, curcumin, can cross the blood-brain barrier and increase brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which aids in neuron repair and connection. Low brain-derived neurotrophic factor is often found in people with depression. The clinical sweet spot is about 1 gram of curcumin daily, often paired with black pepper to enhance absorption, which can be achieved with a turmeric latte, golden milk, or a well-formulated supplement. You can imagine curcumin as a gardener pruning dead branches, allowing healthier, stronger brain circuits to flourish. Number 1 is turkey. Most people think of turkey only at Thanksgiving, but it is one of the richest natural sources of tryptophan, which is an amino acid your body uses to make serotonin and melatonin. A 4-ounce serving of roasted turkey breast provides nearly 400 milligrams of tryptophan, which is enough to nudge serotonin upward and promote more restful sleep. Clinical nutrition guides recommend pairing tryptophan foods with a small portion of healthy carbohydrate, like brown rice or sweet potato, which can help shuttle tryptophan across the blood-brain barrier. You can think of turkey as the quiet craftsman, supplying the raw wood your body needs to build the furniture of happiness. And before you rush to the store and pile everything into your cart, there is a truth that can make or break results. People often try to fix their mood with a single food or a single pill. When it does not work in a week, they feel hopeless, but here is the real picture. Mood is a network of 3 systems working together, including neurotransmitter production, inflammation control, and the gut-brain axis. When all 3 get fed, the fog lifts. When one is starving, the others strain to compensate. You want a small daily rhythm that touches all 3. Now let us talk about timing and simple pairings that make these foods do more than the sum of their parts. In the morning, you might think green and calm. A spinach or kale omelet gives folate and magnesium for serotonin and gamma-aminobutyric acid production. Add a small bowl of live culture yogurt or kefir to start your gut-brain axis on the right foot. If you prefer plant-based, choose an unsweetened cultured option with added live cultures. Toss a few berries on top to shield neurons and brighten dopamine pathways for the hours ahead. At midday, you can think about steady insulation. A salmon salad or a sardine on whole grain toast gives omega-3 that re-insulate your wiring. Add a side of sauerkraut or kimchi for living microbes. If fish is not your style, you can have a greens and quinoa bowl with pumpkin seeds and a drizzle of olive oil, then take an algae-based omega-3 capsule with the meal. In the afternoon, you can think of a gentle lift without a crash. A small handful of almonds or sunflower seeds and a cup of mixed berries give you magnesium, fiber, and anthocyanins. You will feel steadier into the evening without the sugar crash of cookies or chips. In the evening, you might think about repairing and resting. A turkey and brown rice bowl with lightly steamed greens gives tryptophan plus a touch of carbohydrate to escort it across the blood-brain barrier. Close the night with a warm turmeric latte, which will encourage overnight repair, and the warm spices tell your nervous system that you are finished with the day. Now, let us step into the biological deep dive for why food changes your mood. Depression is not just in your head, it is in your cells, synapses, and gut. Nutrition science now shows that 3 major pathways connect diet and mood. Number 1 is neurotransmitter synthesis. Vitamins B6, B12, and folate act as cofactors to build serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine. When these helpers are missing, it feels like trying to run a factory with half the staff. Outputs lows, quality drops, and tiny frustrations feel larger because buffers are gone. Dark leafy greens bring folate, eggs and dairy, or fortified milks bring vitamin B12 for those who eat them. A varied plate solves what supplements try to chase. Number 2 is inflammation control. Cytokines are tiny immune messages. When they rise day after day, they interfere with receptor sensitivity for serotonin and dopamine, and your brain hears mood signals less clearly. Omega-3s lower those inflammatory signals. Polyphenols from berries and turmeric act as firefighters, damping sparks before they spread. Even the gentle short-chain fatty acids made by your gut microbes can travel and soothe brain inflammation. The result is not a jolt of artificial joy. It is the removal of static, and your natural mood gets a fair chance to speak. Number 3 is the gut-brain axis. Your vagus nerve is a superhighway carrying messages between the gut and the brain. Friendly bacteria speak on that line and make gamma-aminobutyric acid, serotonin precursors, and other neuroactive compounds. They also train your immune system to react wisely instead of loudly. When you eat fermented foods, you are not just outsourcing your mood to yogurt, you are actually reseeding the garden so the right voices can speak up again. Remember, when all 3 pathways are nourished, the fog lifts, and when they are neglected, darkness creeps back. Now, there are some common mistakes to avoid. Some people lean heavily on sugar, alcohol, or ultra-processed snacks for comfort. These cause quick dopamine spikes but lead to long crashes and may worsen depression symptoms. Others skip meals, starving their brains of steady glucose, which is the fuel neurons need. The fix is simple. You should balance meals with protein, fiber, and healthy fats at regular intervals. And here is your simple daily action checklist for a 1-week rhythm you can follow without a spreadsheet. On day 1, start simple. Add 1 serving of leafy greens to breakfast and a live culture yogurt or a non-dairy cultured cup at lunch. Drink water throughout the morning instead of chugging it late. On day 2, add a serving of fatty fish at midday or dinner. If you prefer plant-based, choose an algae omega-3 capsule with a meal and keep berries for your afternoon break. On day 3, add a small handful of nuts or seeds in the afternoon, then turmeric golden milk after dinner. You can notice whether sleep arrives a touch earlier. On day 4, make a turkey and brown rice bowl for dinner, or a chickpea and quinoa bowl if you are plant-based, then have your turmeric latte. You can pair tryptophan with a bit of carbohydrate either way. On day 5, keep the same rhythm, but switch your greens to something different as variety feeds different microbes. On day 6, keep berries and nuts and add a spoonful of sauerkraut or a couple of bites of kimchi at lunch. On day 7, step back and scan your week to see if your mornings feel less like wet cement, your mood swings soften, and sleep feels closer. You are not trying to be perfect. You are rewarding your brain for showing up with nourishment that works. Now, a few safety notes because your well-being comes first. If you take blood thinners, be modest with high-dose turmeric or fish oil supplements and talk with your clinician. If dairy causes congestion or digestive upset, choose cultured non-dairy options with live cultures. If you have gout, certain fish and turkey portions should be moderate. If you have kidney disease, work with your clinician on the right amounts of greens and nuts for your mineral balance. The beauty of this plan is its flexibility. There is always a swap that keeps the pathway fed. You are not broken, you are just underfueled, and the nutrients your brain craves are waiting in these foods. You can try this for 7 days, notice the shifts in your energy, sleep, and outlook, and then comment below with the word clarity if you felt even a small improvement. And if you care about keeping your mind sharp and your mood resilient, hit subscribe right now. In the next videos, we will explore more about your health and longevity hacks, so you will not want to miss them.